Welcome to In the Doll World. I'm your host, Georgette Taylor, and today we have a wonderful guest with us. He really is probably the youngest entrepreneur and doll creator that we've had on the show. I'm excited to talk to him about his doll, as well as all the things that he's doing to help inspire, encourage, and help young boys. His name is Demetrius Davis Jr., also known as LiL Dee, and CEO of Our Brown Boy Joy. They create a plush doll line with accessories that help to encourage and inspire young boys. And LiL Dee runs the successful brand alongside his mom, Dr. Luciana Gilmore, who is also on the show with us today. Thank you guys for joining me on In the Doll World.
Thank you for having us.
Hi.
Hi. Yeah, you are the youngest doll creator that we've had on the show, so I'm excited to talk to you about that. So we usually ask our guests what is their doll journey, but generally a lot of them have long histories of doll journeys. So, but
Mhm.
I do want to ask you, Dee, have you ever played with dolls? I know you have sisters. Have you ever played with their dolls or anything like that before?
N- Not on a daily basis. I will if like we're recording or something.
Uh
But
huh.
like if I just want to, I'll play with it sometimes, but I
Mm-hmm.
won't regularly.
Right. It's not something you do regularly. I understand that. We have some boys who play with them regularly, some boys who don't, and it's all good. What I want
Mhm.
to know is that what is the reason that you wanted to create something for boys? What was the reason behind that?
When I was 7 and we were all quarantined, I couldn't go outside or do school or go to school,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like locked in the house. So I didn't have a phone or iPad or anything. So I usually just went and watched the news with my mom.
Mm-hmm.
And there was this one segment about George Floyd, and it made me really sad. And I was like, we gotta do something
Mm-hmm.
about this.
Mm-hmm.
And like a few months later, my mom surprised me with my own business, and
Oh.
I started.
And you started that. So why? So should I ask you or should I ask your mom? Why did you create a doll? Why was a doll important to instead of an action figure or something that you think boys would relate to?
So I think from my lens, Lil D kind of simplified the process.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I think from my lens, when he came to me with this ax of mom, we have to do something, I think that came from a very genuine place of him,
Mm-hmm.
of us having conversations, because when he initially seen some of that stuff unfolding on the news, which he would not normally be watching at 7. I would normally be watching the news all day, but that's what we were focused on. The world stopped and everybody was watching the news to see when we were going to start again.
Right.
Um, and so in the midst of that, we began having conversations that I really was not prepared to have with him, at
Mm.
especially with my brown son at 7,
Yes.
right?
Yes, I
And so I
understand.
had to, while he's seen it and he started asking questions of why, I had to bring it a little closer for him to truly understand that this does not just happen to Black men, but it extends down to boys as well. I gave him examples of things that have occurred in the past
Mm-hmm.
with brown boys, and that was almost like a pause moment for him, because at that point, what I had to convey very openly to him is that in this household, we love you.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of this household, you're just another brown boy. And I need to make sure that you understand that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I think the Dow place for me came from an innocent place.
Mm-hmm.
And understanding that oftentimes, because we want our boys to be so hardcore, don't cry, don't do this, don't do,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that I sometimes we miss the soft touches that they need as well.
Yes.
And so I did not make it a traditional hard dial, just because to me that did speak more towards a girl wanting to dress up a dial, do their
Mm-hmm.
hair, those type of things. We made it more soft because when Dee said that he wanted to put a voice into the dial, my thinking was having something where they could push the stomach, a younger brown and Black boy being able to push the stomach and hear Dee's voice come across this dial in such a powerful
Mm-hmm.
way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I had already decided that I was going to make a girl doll from my previous work.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really stuck in, okay, if I'm going to make this girl doll, how am I going to make it different? Because there's so many people who are now in that space.
Right.
How do I set myself apart? And I literally had a dream. I went to sleep that night. That's how I get vision as an entrepreneur. I went to sleep that night, and in my dream, it was very clear. Um, I said, I don't know. I'm at a standstill. I don't know what to do. And I turned over a mat and it was a boy doll. And I woke right up and I said, God, that's never gonna work. It's a boy doll, and you want me to make it black? Like that's never gonna work. And when Dee said he wanted to do something, I had the conversation with him. I'm like, okay, let me connect this because it's coming at a time where my son is asking me questions. Like, we had a conversation and Dee was like, yes, that's it, Mom. And
Okay.
kind of went from
Okay.
there.
Why did you feel like that was it? That that's what it was? That that's what you had to do?
I felt like that's what we had to do because aside from that, uh, I used to watch YouTube a lot before we went quarantine, and there was these pictures of like brown people getting shot or brown people being mistreated, and I just wanted to do something about it.
You just want so, but when your mom sent you, when your mom said, "Hey, it's going to be a doll," were you excited about that? Did you like the way it looked, or did you guys do a concept with it? You weren't excited about a doll,
So we had 3 different prototypes, and like the
right?
first time, I disliked the dolls a lot.
Right. Okay.
And then we went through a second one, still
Okay.
didn't like it.
Uh-huh.
And then the third one, the one we have right now,
Mm-hmm.
I loved it so much,
You
and
loved it.
yeah, that's what we went with.
Why did you love it? Was it something that was it the face that was different that you didn't like? Was it the clothes? Why did you love this version?
So our old prototype, it was like the face is like this. It's kind of like really small,
Mm-hmm.
and then it had a vest on, and I don't wear vest
You know.
at all. I've never really wore a vest, and I told my mom what I wanted it to be like, and when it
Mm-hmm.
came through, it really looked like me.
It looked like you, right?
I
I
think that's
think
when I got to
that's
really
good.
see,
Mm-hmm.
I got to see and experience his voice as an entrepreneur at that
Mm-hmm.
point, right? And so I showed him what I thought the Dow should be. I'm a former high school principal, and so I got this vision of how I would like brown boys to be seen in the world, and my son was like, that might be how you want them to be seen in the world, but the reality is this is what we actually look like in the world,
Mm-hmm.
and so I need them to see me.
Yes.
That was probably the most powerful point in our whole journey for me was to hear
Mm-hmm.
his voice come alive in that space.
Right, and him having control over what it is that he had to say, and
Yes,
how he has, how he wants people to project who he is, right?
yes,
So I think that's really, yeah, that definitely probably was a powerful moment because I think
yes.
when you do have children, like you said, you project what it is that you feel they should be representing or something like that. But he's saying,
Mhm.
no, this is how I want to be represented. If we're going to be talking and empowering young boys, then this is how I want it to be. So
Mhm.
I think that's great. Now you said he had a vest on. Now I
Mhm.
do know the story behind why he's dressed in jeans and a hoodie, but I really want you to share that with me. I want you to share that with our listeners. Why you chose to dress him in jeans and a
Why
hoodie.
did you put him in a hoodie, too?
I wear hoodies all the time, so
Mm-hmm.
like if it was gonna look like me, we might as well put it on a hoodie and then slap our logo on it, and that's how the shirt was created.
But who did you hear about who had on a hoodie, who had been
I know the names. I just don't want to
Trayvon?
say
You can say it. You can say Trayvon Martin.
Trayvon Martin.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. So you wanted it to be something that represented him as well too, and also to, I guess, to show people that just because that's what you wear, does not mean that that's that represents something bad,
So that
right?
was the intention.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, that was the intention. When he said, "Mom, I want to put the dial on a hoodie," Dee was already wearing hoodies all the time. And so when I told him that about that story, he said, "Mom, we need to put him on a hoodie so that so that the world knows that just because you wear a hoodie doesn't mean that you're bad."
Right.
And I thought that was even him connecting that story to saying, "I want the world to see it doesn't matter what we wear."
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
we should not be criminalized because we wear a hoodie or because
Mm-hmm.
we wear Tims or any
Right.
of that, because our
Right.
skin is it has melanin. We need to be recognized
Mm-hmm.
as being just as valuable.
Yeah, that's true. I think that is absolutely true. And I'm
Yes.
so excited that you found a doll that you liked. so that you can share that with other young boys. What did you, so I want to talk a little bit too about the things that you create with your subscription box. So I know that there are a lot of different things in there that that helps to empower young boys. And I know your doll is called, it's called My Friend. Am I mistaken, right? My Friend. He also says positive affirmation. So how did you find that to be important, and why did you find it to be important, you know, for you and for young boys to say positive affirmations?
I feel that brown boys or like anybody in general isn't positive about themselves and they're more negative. And I felt like if I put affirmations in the doll, they would start feeling more positive about themselves.
You know, I couldn't say it any better than that. Because I'm thinking to myself, you know, I do affirmations and I understand all of that, but it took me years to understand all that, you know, to understand how important it is, and to have somebody as young as you understand the importance of saying positive things about yourself. I think that's very powerful. How did your friends react to that when the doll started saying positive affirmations? Did you find that they would say that, or they were a little bit embarrassed, or they weren't sure about saying it?
The thing is, I haven't really told my friends about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, half of my friends don't know. And
Okay.
then the other half thinks it's like embarrassing.
Oh, well.
I think what's valuable to add is that we live in a very diverse neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
And so with that, I think a part of it is Dee having a space to be able to communicate exactly what he's doing and why he's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
Yes.
that that's just going to be something that we have to build a little bit more over time.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy for me to speak about it because I understand. Um,
Yes.
I think that
Understand.
when you are still the minority in uh in a place where you're still in school,
Mm-hmm.
and peer pressure and likability is still really high, I think
Right.
sometimes he may be a little hesitant to really share.
Mm-hmm.
I think that when they come to him and they see him on TV, or he's on the front page of the news, or when they hear about those things, then they are easy to come and ask him, and he does not mind sharing then. But I think that he really gets in a space of, he does not want to bring any negative attention, if
Yes.
that
Mm-hmm.
in a sense.
So my teacher knew about my business last year,
Mhm.
and like every time I would get a bad grade or like do something bad or something,
Mm-hmm.
no, I thought it would like reflect on my business,
Right.
like
Mhm.
people would talk about it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you wanted to make sure that what you were doing was going to support your business, and that
Yes.
your business. Yeah, I understand that. I
Yeah,
totally
that's
understand
why.
that. So how do you feel about being an entrepreneur, a business owner at your age? How does that feel for you?
Uh it feels good
Feels good. It feels good. Yes. Yes. Well, why does it feel good to you then?
because I get to see every day brown boys are becoming more positive and speaking to themselves more
Mm-hmm.
nice and
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
The
Yeah.
emails
Yeah.
that we receive and testimonials on social media.
Mm-hmm.
I think every time that he reads any of the comments, that just kind of inspires him a little bit more. I think the biggest part for him, because he is 10,
Mm-hmm.
where I see him light up is when we are out places and people walk up to him. Like if he's hosting a table,
Mm-hmm.
and people are like, especially boys who are his age who come up to him like, this doll looks like me. I think that that just fills Dee up like, wow, I really,
Mm-hmm.
being 10 is kind of hard to connect to
Yes.
really understand how powerful your work is.
Yes.
So we are constantly telling him what it represents, but it's a constant, pouring into him so that he can pour into others as well.
Yes, yeah, that's true. That is true. I mean, it is. I mean, there. It's okay, D, because there's still adults that still do not understand their own, their own influence, or
Yes.
their own power. So it's okay. I mean, and all of it is a learning lesson. All of it is just things that you're going to learn. That's going to, be able to move you to a different level of your entrepreneurial journey. So that's very exciting. So what comes in the subscription box?
So we're on pause right now because of because of the holiday.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And so we theme them, they're bi-monthly.
Okay.
And Dee is a little bit more hands off in that just because he's
Mhm.
more hands on with the actual
Dolls.
dials.
Okay.
But the bi-monthly subscription boxes, they vary. We highlight one African American male who has had impact in
Mhm.
the world. We make sure we put an informational sheet in there. We highlight a Black author for a book that is about brown and Black children
Okay.
in the box. And then we do some type of theme. We always make sure that we put a signature, either a hoodie,
Mhm.
t-shirt, hat, something that says Brown Boy Joy.
Okay.
And it just varies, but we cut them off after October of this year just
Mhm.
because the demand for the dial during the Christmas season,
It's
we can't,
insane.
yeah, we can't do both.
That's
Like
good.
last year, there were so many sales. Like 7 p.m. we were still passing out
Still-
dolls, like sending them to
Wow.
UPS.
Yes.
Wow. Well, that's
Yes.
beautiful then. That's
No,
really
it is.
great. It's
It's a
really
good thing.
wonderful. Yes. So your
Yes.
mom says that you're less hands-on with the subscription, but you're more hands-on with the doll. So what does that mean for you? When your mom says you're hands-on, what does that consist of? What do you do with that?
I make new voice boxes. Like I put new affirmations in the dolls.
Mm-hmm.
I help pick out the clothes. I pack the dolls. I ship the dolls. I think that's why mom thinks the Christmas thing is beautiful because she doesn't have to do any work. She just watches me
That's
carry
not
all the
true.
boxes.
Yeah, he does carry out, but that's not true.
That's awesome. So I know you say you do the voices and stuff like that for the affirmations. Can we hear a couple of affirmations from the doll? From my friend? Yes.
This is our actual.
Okay,
that
my
out.
friend. Yes. Very,
Mhm.
very nice.
5 positive
5 positive
affirmations.
affirmations. Okay, beautiful.
There's a little message from Dee on the back.
Okay.
And we show the 3 different skin tones that we have as well.
Oh, okay, nice. Okay, I was gonna ask him that. I have 3 different skin tones. Okay, great. Okay.
So this is one of his special edition dials. This one has on the jogging suit. It's a little replica Adidas. And go ahead, Dee.
Okay. It made me like a little.
You are going to do great things. Brown
You-
boys are more than enough. Brown boy, you are joy.
Brown boy, you are joy. Brown boy, you're gonna do amazing things, right? It said?
And Brown Boy, you are more than
You
enough.
are brown boy. You are love.
Oh, I love that.
Thank you.
That is so great. I love that. I think that is so wonderful what you're doing. So, are you going to make any more dolls to go with your our Brown Boy Joy doll line?
Yeah, but there'll be a lot of boxes to carry.
All he's worried about is the work that he has to do.
No, on Christmas though, like Christmas Eve is probably gonna be the hardest day for shipping.
Yeah, you have to ship everything. Yes, yes. But you have other boys, you have other young dolls coming.
We do. So Dee wants to focus on career dials next.
Nice. That's
So
really
we have
nice.
not put that. We put some ideas down, but we have not actually manufactured yet. We
Okay.
haven't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was it hard finding a manufacturer to get started?
Yes. It's very hard when you are telling someone about the features that need to be present for brown dolls, right?
Mhm.
And so the first hair that they sent us, I was just like, listen, I know that you guys have a different vision of what brown and Black boys look like, but everybody's hair does not look like this. Is not the hair that we want, okay?
Right.
So we had to go back and forth about that. But the nose, everything that was relevant to us, we had to go back and forth about. Finally got to a very happy medium, very happy with the hair, very happy with the 3 skin tones that we have.
Yes, they look really nice. I like that.
Thank you. But it definitely was a challenge. Yeah.
Yeah. Manufacturing is always a beast, So
Yes.
yeah, it
Yes.
can always be really, really challenging. So, but that's the great thing is that now you got more information. Now you understand the process. So it's easier to move forward and create other dolls, So
Agreed. Having that relationship, and right before COVID
Yes.
happened, before they shut everything down, I actually was gonna go and visit when I was in the process of making the girl doll. And since they still have not opened really like accessibility ability for us to move around the world like that yet. We're still in a space where we haven't been able, but that is the goal for us next year, to actually go to the factories over there.
Okay,
Ours,
nice.
and then going to a couple others. I want Dee to see the process from the ground up.
Hmm.
And then also see if there are other opportunities, other manufacturers that, I'm always in this space. You always got to be creative, looking to see, is it a better opportunity?
Is it someplace else? Is it some? Yeah, it definitely is the cost, less, or
Yes.
is the run smaller? I mean, yeah, you have to go through all of that. You
Yes,
really
of
do.
course.
You really do.
Of course.
So, Dee, do you enjoy working with your mom? And if you do, because I know you must, but no, if you do, why do you enjoy working with her?
Let's hear this.
Okay, so like sometimes
Mhm.
she can get a little bossy about things and want it her way all the time. Like
Mm,
outside interviews, she always wants it like her way with the business.
Mhm.
Like the dolls,
right.
the prototypes.
Mm-hmm.
But the other half of the time it's really fun working with her, and I just enjoy it. It's really just it's
It's beautiful, right?
yeah.
Well, look, she's still your mom at the end of the day, right? And you still have to respect her and listen to her ideas too, just like she has to
Mhm.
listen to yours. And so
Mhm.
it just makes makes the teamwork better. So,
I definitely let him take the lead on the things that I know that his voice needs to be more prominent
mhm,
in. I have learned to take the back seat on things that I cannot connect to with a 10 or 5 or 3
yes,
boy, right? And
right,
so
yes, yes.
I tend to let him take the,
Hmm.
run the forefront on that stuff.
Hmm. So, how do you see them expanding and growing? Like,
I want to see them everywhere, right,
you
T?
want to say,
No,
go
we
ahead.
were just talking about this like
Go
yesterday.
ahead. Good. What do you want to happen for you and the dolls?
Okay, you gotta listen. Okay, all right, I'm talking
I'm
like
listening. I promise. I'm listening.
Target size shop. Okay. Brown Boy Joy on the top. Okay, with our logo on the side,
Hmm.
and then like a big factory where everyone's going in and just Brown Boy Joy dolls everywhere.
Nice. Okay. That's a beautiful. Do you
Yeah.
think about being on Shark Tank? You ever thought about that?
So
Yeah, actually.
yeah, they actually reached out to us. We
Oh,
haven't
they
heard back
did.
yet. They did.
Okay. Very
So they
good.
reached out to us right after we secured our Target deal.
Okay.
And so,
Nice. Hmm.
yeah, we haven't heard back yet, so we're waiting.
Okay. Beautiful.
Mhm.
Beautiful. I'll be glad
Mhm.
to turn it on and watch you because I
Yeah,
love
we'd
Shark
be
Tank.
glad to be on there.
I know. I love Shark Tank. I just love that show. So,
Yes.
yeah, I mean, being in the doll space is a really beautiful space for you to be in because I really do think that it offers a great opportunity and a great reach, to go out there and share your message with
Mhm.
so many young boys. And I think a lot of times, if you ever watch the show, there are a lot of men out in our show that create amazing dolls.
Awesome.
They are from icons to small business owners, but they love dolls and they're in the fashion business. They are designers. They are,
Yes.
the wig makers. It's just a variety of them. And I think introducing dolls to young men, like you said, also brings empathy, right?
Absolutely.
It gives
Yes.
you, it's that soft part of them that they, like you said, they don't want to express, right?
Yes.
But they can do that through having a doll. And I
Yes.
think, what you're doing, little D, is just amazing. And then the fact that you really felt that you wanted to do something because you felt sad about what was going on in the world with our young, boys of color. I think
Yes.
it's really it's very telling of who you are as a young person, and it's a beautiful thing.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're so welcome. So
Yes.
one thing I wanted to ask you, Luciana, was that
Mhm.
I was reading one of your interviews before, and you were saying that a lot of your dolls are being purchased by other people.
Yes.
I want to talk about that just a little bit. And how
Yeah.
and how does that make you feel, or is it to make you feel some kind of way, or is that important to you or not important to you?
Um, so no, it's important to me because I
Hmm.
think that it signifies a lens of tolerance, and sometimes we don't want to use tolerance, right? But I think that when we are in a world where we are trying to ultimately have some trajectory change,
Yes.
seeing a family that will purchase a Brown Boy Joy doll for their white son speaks volumes to me.
Mm-hmm.
We have been purchasing white dolls for years when there
Yes.
were no dolls that represented us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And our parents, I'm sure, may have felt some type of way at some point, but did it because it was a doll and it was a toy. And so I think that when we have other races purchase this doll, it lets me know that we're doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
We're putting a representation of us in homes where we otherwise would never be represented, never even talked about. I think that there are probably some conversations that will be sparked in homes because this doll is sitting there. And so
Mhm.
those are the good things that I like to think about in the space of knowing that they are going to homes where
Mhm.
the majority is not our race.
Right, exactly. Right. And it offers the opportunity for conversations. If you have
Yes.
conversations, then you can get to know people before
Yes.
you judge people. Yeah, I think that's really powerful. And I think the fact too is because the doll is just so cute.
Thank
It's
you.
like it's it's so approachable anyway. You just want to have it and squeeze it and hold on
Yes.
to it. And so
Yes.
I think both of you did an amazing job creating this doll. And
Thank you.
Thank you.
yeah, you really did. And so is there anything that you wanted to say to any of the young boys out there that may watch the show? Demetrius, is there anything you want to say to them about building confidence or feeling good about themselves or knowing who they are?
Mhm.
The thing I have to say is always believe in your dreams and never give up, even when it's like hard. If you keep going through it, everything's not gonna go your way. If you keep going through it, it will eventually go your way. So keep going and just never give up.
That was good.
Totally, yes, very, very well spoken, very well said, and honestly, it can be applied to so many people, even as
Yes.
older entrepreneurs who are like sometimes thinks about giving up. You got to keep moving. Well, gosh, thank you guys so much for being on the show. I really appreciate your time, and I really appreciate all the work that you both are doing to
Thank you.
create you know powerful products to help
Yes.
to inspire not just young boys, because I know you work with young girls as
Mhm.
well,
Mhm.
Luciana. But I just want to say thank you so much for doing that, because it's very much needed. It's always needed, and it's
Yes.
something that I think will be something that'll last for a lifetime for them. So
Thank you so much
I'm
for
so
that.
excited for your journey. Yeah, you're going to be just doing phenomenal things out there, Demetrius, and I'm so excited for you. I'm so excited for your business to grow. So you're going to
Thank
be
you so
busy.
much. We do appreciate your support and inviting us on. It's always a pleasure to be able to add our voice in spaces that we were not. And so we are very appreciative of the opportunity.
So I'm sure everybody wants to know how they could get in touch with you, how they could find out about the doll, about all the things that you're doing out there. So where can they reach out to you at or find out information about you?
Yes, we're on all social media platforms at ourbrownboyjoy.com, and our website is www.ourbrownboyjoy.
Well, thank you guys so much again for being on the show. I really appreciate it. And it was just so wonderful meeting you, Demetrius. It truly was.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Thank you, Luciana.
Thank you too. Bye-bye.
Okay. All right.
You
Bye.
too. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.